Hey guys, Rich from Rich Made Gaming. Hope everyone is doing fantastically well. A little bit of a different video again today. We're going to be doing an unboxing of the brand new terrain pack, the NYC Apartment Building from Atomic Mass Games. We'll take a look at what's inside the box, and then we're also going to look at the quality of the product, how flexible it is in terms of options that you get, and then one that's most important for me is the overall value of the product. And at the end of the video I'll give you my feedback on those 3 points plus anything else we find along the way, and whether or not I think it's good value for money or not, and most importantly whether or not you should be parting with your hard-earned cash to pick up one of these for yourself. A quick reminder guys that we've started a brand new giveaway for the month of July, so make sure that you've hit that subscribe button and that you comment on this or any other video from the month of July that's released, and you will be in with a chance to win a brand new character pack, maybe even picking up the brand new Omega Red character whose card we had spoiled yesterday, and a video of which you can find here. So let's jump over and take a look at the box itself. And here we are guys. So to give some reference, this is, at least in the UK, about $79.99 in pounds. I think it's the same in dollars. That tends to be how it works. But I picked this up for just under £60 including shipping. Now, as a point of reference, the core box in the UK at the moment that includes all the figures, all the extra terrain and everything else is coming in at about £65 delivered from most places. So what we're really interested in today is the quality of the building. This is the first terrain pack I bought from Marvel Crisis Protocol. So we're looking at the quality of the building, the options that we get in here, but really, is it worth that £60 price tag? So let's go in and open it up. As you can see, it's cellophaned here, so this is the first time opening. Let's just check on the back at the moment. So it looks like we do have a couple of different options here potentially. We can see in here it includes one building, 11 double-sided walls, 2 entrance facades, Josie's Bar, Nelson and Murdoch. Okay, so we do get some options there. Water tower, rooftop entrance, a skylight, a billboard, a fire escape, fire hydrants, AC units and 3 pigeons, and obviously supplied unassembled and unpainted. So let's take a look. Now, the reason I'm doing this is as I'm doing more and more battle reports, I realised that my board in the first battle report was pretty sparse. So first of all is, and I get really annoyed by this, look at that. Over half of this box is packing. There is nothing in there whatsoever. So all that does is increase the amount of materials used to make the box. It increases the cost when we're transporting it. So really not off to a great start. And you know, why do they put that in there? Well, they put that in there so they're not selling you a box that's that big, which is not too much bigger than some of the character packs, for £60. But we'll take a look and see what's inside. So we've obviously got our instruction manual. So NYC Apartment Building, assembly guide here. I think it's all going to be pretty standard, pretty straightforward stuff. And then let's just tip out. So let's actually, I mean, before we do that guys, let's just have a quick look in there. This much. So tilt it so you can see this much of the box is empty. Really disappointed with that. Really disappointed. There's absolutely no need for Atomic Mass Games to be overpacking products like that. I think the rest of their packs are pretty well done. You look at the core box, you look at the character packs, they are not wasting much space in there, but this is a real shame. So this looks like a sticker that we can put on. That's quite a nice touch for those people that don't want to freehand and free paint the billboards. And then this is the plastic that we get in the box, if we can get that open. So as it says on the box, and there we go, that's a right mess. So as it says on the box, obviously it all comes unassembled, it all comes unpainted. So we've got some sides. It looks like there's lots of intricate detail on there, and then I think the main difference is going to be that we can choose to have it either as Josie's Bar or Nelson and Murdoch's. There we go. So we've got the Josie's Bar sign, or Nelson and Murdoch Attorney at Law, which would go quite nice in the Defenders. They would all go quite nice. It's not a lot for £60. A little bit disappointed. Okay guys, mere seconds for you, but about 45 minutes to an hour for me, and that was taking everything off the sprue. I haven't cleaned everything down yet, but everything I want to be glued in place is glued in place at the moment. So we'll just go through, take a quick look at all the individual components, and then look at how that comes together. So first of all then, we've got the base here. So as we can see, this has little slats on here, and these pieces just very easily push in there. Two choices. You've got the one with the door and the door there, as you can see on the inside without the door, so you can quite easily flip that around. There is a gotcha to this that I'm about to go through it now. You've got the front door, sorry, the back door. So again, two options for this. This is like a garage type door, loading bay, and then on the other side there you've just got a normal door. Now once again, this can be flipped around either way, but what reduces the amount of flexibility you've got with these are these little components here. So these clip on the top, they give it a nice trim, but the trim is only on one side. Now these have to be on the units because the next level above then attaches to the top. And whilst I'm not too bothered about the back door, what I was really disappointed in is the front door options. So we've got two options. We can see here we've got Nelson and Murdoch Attorneys at Law. So quite nice, you've got a little step up there, two windows at the front. Those windows are separate pieces as well. And then if we flip it around, we have got Josie's Bar. So the main window, Josie's sign above it. We did also get another blank side as well. I thought that was a nice touch, so we can then put whatever we want on there, and then a separate door. But once again guys, it is covered by this piece here. So what that means is we really have to choose which we want. And I think it would have been much nicer for them to do one of two things. I think either got rid of this, so got rid of this back door and had, this is the front door, this is the back door, and then you could choose which side you wanted to put facing into your unit, or even just have them both, right? This is quite a deep building. Who's to say that, you know, half of this isn't Nelson and Murdoch's and half of this is Josie's? So I think a real shame there in terms of flexibility and really pushing you to go and buy a second unit. But for £60, I think I'd like to have seen a little bit more in terms of flexibility of how this could be built. You've then got the side buildings here. So these come, so there's four of these. These are the long ones that go across the top here. Two options, windows or no windows. And then these as the front and back pieces, again stacking up. You've got windows that have been glued in, and then windows that are just included as part of it as well. And we'll obviously get four of them. Next on to the extra pieces, we've got a whole bunch of little sort of unit parts here. These are meant to be, I think this sticks onto the side of the building, and they sort of act as like plumbing work or whatever it is. And then these are, I believe, air conditioning units. So in America, you must have seen them in New York. Stick onto the side of the building there. They work with the other ones as well. So the ones that we've pulled off, they do work with those as well. So they're quite nice to add some extra detail. We've then got the billboard itself. So again, it does come with quite a nice, it's a little bit too cartoony for my liking. I may spray paint this white, I may put a little project together at putting something on there, but that goes on there. This doesn't freestand, it does need to be glued onto the building, which again is a bit of a shame. It would have been nice to have had that as a separate piece of terrain, maybe a size 2 terrain on top of the size 5 terrain that you could throw. We've got the water tower, which does stand by itself, so that's quite nice. I think that's a good size size 2 piece of terrain. Feels about right. Stairwell unit here, obviously for access again, doesn't have to be glued down, can be used separate. And then really just for aesthetics, because these are going to be on the side of the building, you've got a couple of stairwells. On top of that then, we've got some fire hydrants, so some more different size 1 pieces of terrain, always nice, better than the dustbins. And then I think everyone's favourite, which will be glued on, but we've got 3, you can see that okay, 3 little pigeons. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to just soft put all this together. I'm not going to glue anything in place at the moment. We're going to see what it looks like all together, the size of it, and then compare it against something else, and then we'll come back and see what it looks like. And here we are, guys. This is the unit all made up fully. I've not stuck anything in place at the moment. I've decided that, well, I haven't decided yet which option I'm going to go for. As you can see there at the moment, I've picked the Nelson and Murdoch. We put these components on the top, which, as I mentioned before, could quite easily be not stuck down and used as size 1 or even 2 terrain. That looks pretty good for a size 2 terrain for me. That's maybe a size 1, but still could be a size 2. If we look at the billboard, if we take the billboard here, we'll just move these 2 off at the moment. This does fit on nice and easily at the back there. Looks a bit oversized for me. A billboard this size on this size building just seems a little bit off. So I don't think I'm going to be going with that option. Around the back here, you can see I've gone with the sort of garage type door, and we've got all the windows along the sides as well. Still need to figure out where I'm going to put these. I will be putting these on. They will add some really nice detail in. Obviously you want one on the ground floor and then one further up at some point as well. I think the other nice thing is that it could also be used as a storage device. So if you didn't glue this down, you want to take this with you to your local game store for a game, you could very easily fit your other terrain inside here, or indeed your figures or anything else as well. And there we go, guys. That is the unboxing of the NYC Apartment Building from Atomic Mass Games. A couple of things to note. I think first of all, the quality of the product is very, very good. The sturdiness of the plastic, the way it all fits together, even dry fit as I have it now, it's sturdy enough to pick up and move around and things. So really, really good on that point. There are, however, a number of downsides for me. First of all, and I'm going to pick them up on it again, the packaging. If you just have a quick look, so this is the box that it came in. So I even have to turn it this way around so you guys can see the size of the box. And then this was the filler. Now, just to clarify, there was absolutely nothing in there at all. So if I put these 2 side by side, you can see them there. It is almost half of the box taken up by the filler, which at a time where we should be far more considered around the amount of materials that we're using and that kind of thing, that is just an absolute waste. It increases the cost for shipping, it increases the cost for materials used, and ultimately it's just a bit of a con. It's to give us a bigger box to make it look like we're getting more value for money than we actually are. And that brings me on to my second point, which is value for money. Now, for $79.99, I really think we should have seen a lot more flexibility in terms of how this could be built, but also in terms of where we could put certain things. I think it'd have been much better if they'd have allowed you to have Josie's Bar at one side of the building and then Nelson and Murdoch at the other side of the building, giving you the option to flip it around, or as I mentioned, even have it in the middle of the table, and you can have 2 shop fronts. There's nothing to stop you from having that there at all. The windows and everything else are absolutely fine. The terrain on the top is pretty good. You can use it as an extra 1 or 2 size terrain. The board itself, this is a little bit disappointing. This has to be attached. You need to glue this down. You could rig something up yourself, you could put something together that would hold it, but that will not stand up by itself. And I think it's oversized. I think for the size of building that we've got, that is just too big and just looks a little bit daft, in my personal opinion. The extra little pieces that we get are quite nice, but they really don't make up for that $79.99 price tag. So overall, do I think this one is worth buying? I'm going to say no. Having looked on Etsy and a number of other 3D shops that print 3D models, there are better options out there for a lot less cash. Again, it's that price tag of $79.99. I think realistically, so maybe a £60 MSRP and then drops down to sort of £40-45 with the discount that you get from your local game store. But for me, it's just too overpriced. It's not one that I would recommend. So anyway, guys, that's my review. As I mentioned before, make sure that you have hit that subscribe button, make sure you've hit that like button, and make sure you leave a comment down in the comment section below, and you'll be in with a chance to win a brand new Marvel Crisis Protocol character pack in the month of July. And as always, it leaves me with just enough time to say stay well, keep safe, and until next time, bye for now.